figure I should probably keep you guys in the loop. I'm working on probably the second to last day of cutting for the year. I'm down at the valley, and so I've been down here since 1 o'clock. It's currently 6. And I really, well, it's been what, July 5th was the last time we were down here that we cut any of this. And it kind of slipped my mind as to how much material, how much actual running is down here. This whole valley, I got it figured out. It's in about 5 different sections. You know, the field, the upper bottom, the lower bottom, the pasture, field, the shed piece, whatever, and just opening up 2 of the sections, because the plan is to have Ryan and Ryan's going to come down tomorrow with the other machine, and with both of us running, we'll be able to knock the last of this, or all of this, pretty well out. So I'm going through, and I opened up a bunch of the field ground where the 4640 can't go, shouldn't go. Front wheel assist, and the 76 just does a much better job. It's more stable. I really don't want the 4640 on those waterways, those hillsides, up on the bench without the duals on it. Last year you guys saw in Ryan's videos how farms work, where he was down here and he was raking with the 4640 on those hills, but he also had the duals on. And speaking of the duals, they're going to end up back in the 46, well, in about a week. As a matter of fact, just the way things are going, how things are working out, chances are by the time you guys watch this video, we more than likely, I mean, the odds are really good, this is all going to be raked and baled and hauled in off the field already by the time this video actually posts. At least that's the plan. Here I am swearing again. But I'm down at the bottom. This was hit with fertilizer. The field ground was hit with fertilizer. The foxtail and whatever else came in on that, fairly heavy. Everything else, the other grasses are there. I mean, it's just underneath it. Seems like it came in pretty heavy all over the place. But I'm making it regardless because it's cattle feed. And this stuff, leading into what I was starting to say, the valley, the actual bottom ground in the valley. I lost 2/3 of it this summer. Got rained out. What we did get made, it got 3 inches of rain in about 45 minutes, so everything got beat right down to the stubble. When we came down to make it, you couldn't even tell that there was any hay here because of the regrowth, and Dad was actually going through with the New Holland rake and pulling it all back up out of the ground. Not the best, most prettiest of stuff, but it was dry. I checked it with the tester. It actually doesn't look too bad wrapped up in a bale. I mean, at least it's worth something. We got a little bit of something out of it. Far cry from what we should have had. This stuff, I've been coming down and checking it with the 4-wheeler, and that's not a very good gauge as to how heavy this stuff really is, because I'm used to first cut down here where it's about level with the hood of the tractor. I mean, it was over 4 ton of the acre last year. Granted, that was when first cut was being made at the end of the summer, but it did yield really well. So coming down here with the 4-wheeler, you're driving through it, it's maybe just under the height of the 4-wheeler. I really wasn't projecting this to yield that well. I think this will yield more tonnage per acre than the field ground will, but when it comes to the field ground, and they said I got everything up there now, the parts of the field, I mean, it's all gotten fertilizer or liquid fertilizer back 1st of August. The light ground that I figured was going to yield light. Did just that. Granted, it's a little bit heavier than I thought it would be, but then that same ground, those same areas, have also some spots where they yielded significantly more than I thought they would. It's just that when the material is standing in the field, if you can see behind me when I turn around here, I mean, it doesn't look like it's very much, like there's very much there, but when you go through and you cut it, and it spits it out the back of the mower, I'm gonna get me in trouble here. That's probably the last one of those. See, I really could go about, slow down, talk, trip over my tongue. I could probably go another 100 feet that way if we didn't get that week of rain. Before that week of rain, I could have made so much down here. I could have gotten to areas that I haven't been able to get to since I took this ground over again last year. But that's not the case. My roadway is watered out again, or flooded out. And back to what I was saying about this material, I'm laying it out flat, and there's a lot more coming out of the back of the machine than I really thought there'd be. I don't know if I'm going to TED this. I'd rather not. That's why I'm laying it out flat. They are calling starting tomorrow for, found some ruts, 70-degree weather for about a week. And then it's going to dip back down into the 60s again. I mean, last night it was 34 at my house. So if we get a week of 70s, sunshine, they're calling for plenty of it. I'm hoping, swearing again, that all this material that is cut down here, and honestly, we have all of our hay, but after tomorrow, we're going to have all of our hay that we had left to cut, which, you know, is all of our last cut for the year, on the ground. We haven't made any of it yet. We've raked some of it. We haven't made any. We have 2 balers, 2 rakes, at least 4 of us between my parents and my brother and I. The plan is to start knocking this stuff out come Monday with the early stuff we did. Then the second stuff that I cut, I don't know. Oops. I don't know how well that's going to yield. It's variable. But the plan is to get that made, then hopefully by the end of the week, I'm going to go through, we're going to go through, and we're going to get all this made by the end of the week, hauled in, put inside, forgotten about, and the following week, it's harvest. Very, very real potential. We'll be doing soybeans the week after next. We got some beans right now that 2 or 3 days of 70s and sunshine, we probably could be making them sometime this upcoming week, but hay gets priority because the idea of leaving, you know, I was thinking about just leaving the Valley Farm until we got everything else made. I was really thinking about just leaving it, but the problem is the ground is soft. I need that heat and sunlight to kind of dry the ground out. There's enough insulation here with the material that's here that if I don't cut it, it's just going to keep the ground soft. We're not going to get 3 or 4 weeks of 80, 90 degree weather and no rain at this point in the year. I mean, very real frost potential. I thought this did get frosted this morning. I really don't want to try to make this in the middle of October with nothing to work with but 40s and 50 degree weather days and just fighting to get it dry. The stuff we made, we cut the first part of the week. It'll be on the ground for 6 days by the time we make it, which according to my buddy is pretty much spot on where it needs to be, because before I just lost him on the phone, he's hauling in big square bales off of all of his, or the last of his hay ground for the year, and he said that his sat for 6 days too. But Ryan and I, we went and raked a bunch yesterday of the first cut, largely just to get it up off the ground because some of it was so light. We wanted to get it up off the ground, windrow it, so it can actually get some air, get that ground to dry out where the material has been laying. And hopefully with 70s and sunlight, we can bale it. And that's the goal here. As far as the bottom ground, the valley, well, I'm running all of it now, so I'm thinking having the hay ground is a good move for my operation. I'm just a little frustrated with the fact that we had a month plus without rain, which is exactly what this ground needed, as odd as it sounds, backward as it sounds. It dried it out so well that I should have come down and made it a few days earlier. But you know me, the longer it waits, the more tonnage it's putting on. And from what's coming out the back of the machine, out of the other two sections that I opened up, this is technically the third section, and I don't know what to tell you what I think it's going to yield wise as far as bales or tonnage. I am completely in the mindset right now, I just want to see it wrapped up and inside, because I'm probably going to wait 2 weeks, let this stuff cure out, and I'm going to start selling weekly or every other week here, just to kind of get some of that weekly or monthly income coming in, which harvest is right around the corner, but we'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Ugh. So that's looking to be a blast. Everybody's asking me about corn and soybean damage. Yes, we do have corn and soybean damage. Soybeans, they'll be all right. They finished out. They'll dry down. As far as yielding, I never count on soybean yield until it is literally in town in their elevator. But the problem is the beans are laid over from all that storms we got. So we're looking at having to harvest our soybeans one direction, which is huge, because if you harvest it one direction where it's leaning into the head is able to catch all the beans, all the plants. If you're trying to go through it with the beans laying away from the head, you're leaving how much of the plant, how many pods per plant, and it doesn't take very much stubble with pods sitting on them. I mean, a couple inches, 6 inches. I mean, that you're talking bushels quickly. I mean, 5 to 10 bushels. With the way the soybean head is working, I'm halfway tempted to say I'm looking forward to cutting beans. Corn, that's a disaster. Not a complete disaster. Dad did a bunch of work to the corn head. I want to, Ryan wants to, we all want to be done with soybeans before we have to do it, because some people are asking what we're going to do with the flat corn. I can tell you exactly what we're going to do with the flat corn. If the corn head can't get it harvested, and believe me, we are going to try, we will be going through it with the bean head to a certain degree. And I actually just talked to the crop adjuster, one of the crop adjusters we've been dealing with, and he told me that this morning, and I've seen OLF do it. Believe it or not, in down corn, going through the flex head, bean head, will actually clean it up a lot better than what people are willing to give it credit for. The problem is everybody says, you're going to destroy your bean head. Let me be blunt with you guys. Our bean head is an older head. It's been beat. It's been abused before we even got it. Grandpa bought it from the local dealership because he wanted to try beans, and Grandpa at the time was only putting in 40, 50, maybe 60 acres of soybeans, he was not going to go buy a brand new soybean head. He bought what he could afford. That's what we're still running. Do we want to upgrade? Absolutely. Thinking more and more about it here lately. Thought about putting the sensor kit on the bean head so the Contour Master will read off the bean head and follow the ground better. That's a $3,000 kit. Please do not go try to find me a kit of your own. We're not putting the money into that head. Simply because if we put the money into putting a sensor kit onto that bean head, $3,000 right there. If we sold our bean head for what it's worth, which I'm not sure what it's worth, maybe another $3 grand. So say if you're willing to spend $3,000, you can sell our current head for $2,500 to $3,000. There's six grand right there. I've seen some newer, not brand new heads going for $8,000 to $9,000. So for another $3,000 there, maybe upgrade to a 25-foot head that's a little bit newer. That's the plans and intentions. Things every year we get away from the estate sale. My grandpa passing has actually been a better year than the last. We have struggles, we have challenges. Welcome to life. Learn to accept it. Otherwise, you really shouldn't be in this profession. Adapt and deal with the problems the challenges that farming throws at you. Diversify. That's all I'm going to say there. And not having all your eggs in corn, beans, cattle, hay. Some guys, they moonlight as mechanics or whatever. With the way the crop prices are going, with what I sold last year and what I'm looking at this year already, I'm feeling optimistic about this year and next year already. I don't know. I guess I'm not too overly panicked or stressed about going into next year. And you know, believe it or not, I'm just going to sit and talk. So, believe it or not, I think one of the things that's actually helping me at the end of the day, maybe helping me sleep a little bit better at night, granted maybe not as much as it could be, but having this hay ground, a few hundred bales I can sell that I paid, everything is paid out of pocket. I'm not borrowing anything to run this ground down here. So the hay that is actually coming off here is, I don't necessarily want to say free and clear because I have some plans for the income off this ground, but it's another source of income. And you know what? I like making hay. The added trouble and headaches that I get from trying to make grass hay off of bottom ground in the very aggravating weather that we have in southwest Wisconsin. It's a challenge, but this is my favorite summertime job right here. I love cutting hay. Would I like to upgrade our mowers? I'd like to get another one. I like the 735. I like the 11-foot width that we have because of waterways and some fences that are gateways we have to get through. And it's just a nice all-around general use machine. I would like to go buy another machine. So we have two. Another 13, I think 15-foot machine is a little excessive. As a matter of fact, I don't know if we can get a 15-foot machine down here. Driveway. I think the driveway is, maybe we can pull the post out. Maybe we could. I get more serious about it. I'm going to have to drive around and measure all of our gateways. But even another 13-foot machine. We got that Kuhn machine that we've been using, which unfortunately, you know, it's not a forever machine. It's used for this year machine, which it's been extremely helpful on. it's opened my eyes up to the fact that I like having 2 machines in the field. The struggle is just getting 2 people available to do it. Ryan was supposed to be down here helping me tonight. I know he's going to be down tomorrow. I haven't heard from him, so I'm kind of wondering what went south up at the farm that he wasn't able to get down here. The problem is I can't even call him and ask because my cell phone signal is touch and go down here. I don't count on anything. So. Equipment purchases. What would be a good equipment purchase? I got a bale carrier halfways in mind. It is almost certainly, if I'm going with another dolly style, it's going to be the John B. Manufacturing. That's a rut. That's a big rut. See, that's the struggles of trying to cut hay back in July, or make this hay back in July. If I could find an 8 or a 10 capacity dolly wagon, which I think I did, I'm probably going to be looking that direction, and then running one behind, or running my current one behind that one, just pulling 2. Maybe using the 82 for hauling hay, right? Get about 16, 20 bales behind it. Of course, I'm just spouting off right now a little bit. Oh, well, I guess I'm going to keep going. I am just going to do this piece. This won't take me forever. I mean, this is actually the easiest running down here. That's why I'm doing it. Dodging mud, which is why I did the outside rounds when I wasn't on camera. At least I was focusing all my attention on what I was doing. But the plans going into next year is I'd like to get some dry fertilizer on this early spring across the whole works, 100 some acres of it, and then make it in July. That's right. I'm not trying to make dairy quality feed down here. I don't care if it gets overripe. Our cows aren't picky, especially when it's January and 0 degrees out and they need something to eat. They'll eat what I put in front of them. So I'm actually leaning more towards fertilizing for a healthy first cut, or a heavy healthy first cut. Make it about July 1st. Get it all up and off the ground, out of the field. Come back through with that liquid sprayer of mine, or liquid fertilizer with a sprayer of mine. Put down 20, 25 gallons or so of liquid fert. Hopefully we got the rain to at least get the nitrogen down into the ground, and then let it go until September. I think this place is great for 2 healthy cuttings. Let it get overripe. I'm not looking for the green pretty stuff. I mean, honestly, it seems like it sells the same no matter what. And save myself some wear and tear in the machinery and a little bit of headache. Actually, it probably gives me more of a headache because it's that much more important that I don't lose a cutting. There we go. That is my other buddy. Oh boy. People being dumb. Let's see here. Ah, come on. Oh. Well, I apologize. The guy's not talking about me. He's talking about somebody else. So, well, I hope you guys are seeing what you want to see. I got my cameras with me, but it's getting too dark now. I feel like I'm just stalling ending this video. Hopefully we'll be done cutting hay tomorrow. We'll see if I'm generous enough to want to make a video tomorrow. Not like I'm trying to leave you guys out, but we got to finish cutting. We got to potentially ted some of this stuff. We got to rake. We got to bale. We got to haul. We got to get the combine out. We got to cruise across the field cutting beans and hopefully make some money. And who's this? Everybody wants to talk to me. Oh, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. I gotta be careful because he could be watching. I hope he is watching this. He probably isn't at this point. My buddy just told me he got his truck stuck. My buddy that's hauling square bales right now. Oh, I can laugh at other people's misery, right? I'm kidding. If he called me to go out and help him pull his truck out, I'd shut the tractor off right now and I'd be out there. I just gotta laugh because he literally, I just hung up the phone with him before I started talking to you guys. That was literally the last thing he said before I lost him, because I lost cell signal, is, well, I'm kind of worried I'm going to get stuck. Click. Well, I guess the mystery's over. I shouldn't laugh, but at least that's something. That's no harm, no foul, hopefully. Oh, I was going to say something. What was it? It wasn't about, not that. Oh, I know what it is. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Take it easy. Keep in touch. You guys have been watching the rest of the story. I know I'll never be as good as Paul. I know that because people keep telling me that, like it really matters. But I don't care. I'm just out here having fun, living my life, watching my little baby girl grow up way too fast in front of my eyes. That's absolutely terrible. And oh, she's getting the mouth on her already. I'm pretty sure she told Brittany. Oh, ruts. I'm pretty sure she told Brittany off this morning. I'm not sure, but just the tone that she was squeaking. I'm pretty sure she told her mom off, which I know she wouldn't tell her dad off because her dad's, you know, her dad and her are pretty cool so far. I think my Mountain Dew Sugar High is coming back. I'm getting wired. But I'm going to get this done tonight, and then I got to head home. So with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Take care. Take it easy. Keep in touch. Make sure you keep supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Until next time, goodbye.